Now that fall is upon us, I'm getting ready for my next trip to South Korea. So today I thought I would just give you a quick glimpse into my sketchbook that I worked on last year. And then hopefully when I get back, I will have done a lot more work in the sketchbook. And you can also enjoy that next sketchbook tour when I get done. Alright guys, let's get into it. I hope that you enjoy today's video and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment or emoji down below. Okay guys, I hope you enjoy. So last year when I went to Korea, I utilized this Strathmore mixed media notebook. It's a soft-bound mixed media notebook that I took with me that was fairly light. Last year I also took some Inktense pencils, and I swatched in the back of the book so I would know what I had with me, but I ended up not using my Inktense pencils very much. I really still don't know if I love them just yet, to be honest with you. But since it was my first time in Korea, I wasn't painting quite as much because I was doing so much acting like a tourist. And there was so much to see and do and go, and there wasn't a whole lot of time to just sit and study things. But I wanted to do some, and that's what I did. So this was October the 4th through the 20th last year, 2022. And I did a cover here. Even though I chose cherry blossoms, which is often seen in spring in Korea, which I have never seen, I went in fall. So there's a lot of fall colors. But one of the first places that I went to was the Gyang Palace in Seoul. And I walked around lots of different places and did these quick studies. There's this pavilion that's a really beautiful place, and it was really nice that day because they had set out a bunch of chairs and were playing this soothing music, and they were inviting people to sit down, and it was basically like a meditation thing to do next to the pavilion, and it was really cute. And there was a couple young ladies, children, that were sitting next to me drawing, and I thought it was a lot of fun to sit and draw this pavilion with them. And then I went into a back corner area. There's something on my book. Don't know what that is. And then I went into the back. And then I went into a back area where I was all by myself behind some buildings. And there was this persimmon tree. And there was actually a wall here, and there was a lot of magpies that were jumping around this tree and picking at the fruit and stuff. There's a lot of magpies in South Korea. And then I had done this sketch of Seoul Tower, and later on, I did some watercolor of a bunch of Ginko leaves because there are a lot of Ginko trees throughout South Korea, and I love the color. There was this particular, I think it was a Hordam color that I used for this Ginko leaf. I really thought was really, really pretty. And then this was another palace where I sat down and I drew this wall and this cool looking tree. This was Chandokgung Palace. I know those names they're not easy for even me to say sometimes, but I have gotten better at it. And then when I went to Janju, there was another palace area that I went to go tour, And it was a similar situation where I just happened to find a spot where there was this cool old tree. It really was a really old tree, I think, because it was being supported by a metal bar. This is, I think, and I don't know for sure like what the true national tree of Korea is, but if I had to guess, it's this particular pine that they have there. This pine, like we have tons of pines here in Florida, but this particular pine has a unique look, and the most unique thing about it, aside from the fact that they curve a lot, is that the trunks are a very reddish, almost clay type color, and it goes through variations of reds and browns that make it look very unique and gorgeous. And so this particular tree was leaning up against this wall. It's so much work to do to capture all these tiles, but I did sit and just rough them out, and then I went to a cafe afterwards and sat down and worked on this some more. And I actually like this page a good deal. Then I probably did the most sketching in Janju. This was in another cafe, actually several pages in here in a cafe. I was sitting at a cafe just before the sun went down, and I love the silhouette of this tree and the tile roof line that was there that I saw outside my window while I was drinking some coffee. But there were just subtle shades of green and the darkness of the silhouette as the sun was going down. And so that's what I did there. And then another morning, I sat down at this other cafe that had this beautiful gate across the street. The streets are very small. It's a very quaint little town. If you think of like what you might contemplate old Japan looking like, with little houses and tiled roofs, it's kind of a similar thing, except for in Korea they're called hanoks, hanok buildings, hanok houses, and this whole area is a village of them, so it has a particular look. It's a very touristy town, but this particular gate was just so gorgeous, beautiful, thick wooden doors, and the details of the roof and the ironwork on the door. It's just really lovely. So I sat there for quite a while working on that. And there was a lovely couple chatting away next to me. Well, the wife was chatting the most. Oh, typical to us girls. And this is another cafe. This is called Cafe Dal Story. And there's a really nice proprietor who owns this place. He's very friendly to foreigners, tourists, and he's very chatty and kind. And I'm hoping to be able to get a chance to catch up with him when I go back soon. And then I went south to Busan, and I did this little landscape from my window. It's not great because there is so much to capture in a cityscape like that. There's just so much, but I tried in a limited amount of time, and then I just supplemented the drawing with some more Ginko leaves just for design. And then when I went back to Seoul, I walked around quite a bit, and I was walking on the back streets, and this tree was next to the Canadian embassy. This huge old tree. It's a 500-year-old tree, and there was a plaque for it. And so I sat down. They have these like little round stone pillars that you can just sit down and rest for a few minutes. And so I sat on one of these and was sketching this tree out. And all of a sudden, this Korean gentleman walked up to me and handed me this piece of paper. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but he sketched me. I had not even seen him quickly sketching me, sitting there, drawing this tree. There's the tree. There's me sitting on that pillar. And I thought, wow, I was so shocked that another artist was sitting there sketching me, and And then he gave me that as a gift, so I pasted that in here as my memento, and that's a very precious treasure that I got. That's the best kind of a knick-knack that you can bring back, a souvenir that you can bring back from another place that you visited. So that was really special. And then, because there are so many magpies, which are called kachi in Korean, I decided to do some studies of some little magpies. And here in the US, mostly, as far as I know, magpies are out west. I know I've seen them in like Yosemite and places like that, Yellowstone, I think. Not Yosemite, but Yellowstone. And so I find it interesting because we do not have them here in Florida at all. They're related to blue jays, and they have that same kind of a brave character about them. So I really thought that they're quite striking as well. So I enjoyed seeing them in Korea. And then when I was in a place called, I never quite can say it quite right. To me, it looks like it's spelled Gyangju, but I think it's Gyangju. Gyangju. It is the place where one of the kingdoms of the ancient kingdoms of Shilla. One was being Joseon. Joseon, yeah. One was Joseon, and another one was Shilla. And Shilla was a really cool place where they actually even had a queen at one time. And so I had gone to that area and visited the museum. And this was just one of the little tiles that I saw in the museum. I thought all these ancient tiles from so long ago that they had these things was really interesting. And I saw this pretty one that I thought would be easier to capture, this beautiful. It kind of looks like a daisy, but in retrospect, it might actually be something like a cosmo flower, because there are a lot of cosmo flowers in Korea and they are blooming this time of year. So that's what I did on that page. And then when I was doing my sketchbook challenge, I was just deciding to go back and use some of my reference material that I took on my trip last year. And so there was this cute tea house in Janju called Gyang Dawan Tea House. And they had this beautiful stone fountain filled with cosmo flowers floating around in it. And so I tried to capture that. And then, even though I don't think these really look like persimmons, not that I'm an expert on persimmons because we don't have those here, I had taken a reference photo of persimmons and did that there as a representation of because this time of year so many persimmons are just, they are fully ripe and ready for the picking and falling off the tree. So I'm looking forward to seeing those beautiful fruit as well. So, and that's as far as I got. So not very far into this particular sketchbook, and I've got lots more space to go, and that's what I'm going to be doing very soon. And I'm hoping to spend a lot more time working in this sketchbook this next time. At least that's my goal. I'm not hopping around as a tourist quite as much. I've got an Airbnb, and I'm going to be staying put a little bit more for a period of time. Of course, I'm flying into Seoul and then going down to another little town and just, hanging out and just being a little bit more casual with my sightseeing. We'll see what I get to see and what all the cool, amazing experiences that I get to have. So that's pretty much it. And that's my quick tour of my sketchbook for South Korea today. All right, guys. I'm going to end this quick video here. See you next time. Y'all be well. Bye. 안녕.